Thanks for checking us out here on the YouTubes as well as wherever podcasts are downloaded and listened to. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, rate, review, do all that jazz. Show some love because we love you and sharing is caring. So show that you care. Damn it. So with that, Jimmy. It was a crazy college football weekend.
Yes.
If you name it, it probably happened. We had UTSA, the Meats Roadrunners took a massive L from the Mean Green. Oh my God, it was so bad. I felt bad for them. So they're completely out of playoff contention. Cincinnati went out there and cooked their opponent at SMU to head on to their championship game. But then you had all the bigger ones. The Iron Bowl, where Alabama almost lost. And then Auburn just...
Here you go.
Lemon booty.
We've come far enough. Here you go.
You know what? We're tired of winning. It's yours. We're up 10-0 roughly 10 minutes ago. We're done. It's yours. They take an L for, but I think the two biggest games to talk about is we'll start first. Bedlam. Oh my God, that was a good game. Now with all Lincoln Riley news and everything, that's the craziest thing about Lincoln Riley in this whole situation. Oklahoma took Oklahoma State's greatest achievement and moment as they prepared for the Big 12 championship and took every single highlight away from them. No one is talking about them.
Nobody cares
All
anymore.
the conversation is USC, Oklahoma, who OU's going to have a new coach, and we forget that Oklahoma State's going to play Baylor for the Big 12 championship.
At the same time, OSU fans are enjoying this because we beat you on Saturday, and now your coach leaves, and you're in disarray. You don't know who you are.
Oklahoma State fans are loving this.
But outside of that, no one
It's
cares about this game
disrespectful. We're not talking about it. But this game overall, though, the Oklahoma State won the game 37-33. It was a very good game. I did enjoy watching it, except for the fact that just about everything weird that could happen happened in this game. I mean, multiple penalties, multiple no calls. It's like there was so many flags thrown in this game that the officials was like, guys, we're out of laundry. Sorry. We got to wash. We can't throw any more flags. And you had those last set of plays that really ruined it. But overall, Jimmy, what was your thoughts in watching this game? Because we watched it all together.
Yeah, we did. Real shout outs to Trevor as well.
Yeah. Shout out Trevor. Appreciate you hosting all of us.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Whole lot of fun.
Yes.
I walked away from this game believing that it wasn't so much that OSU won this game, it's that OU lost this game.
Ooh.
Here's what I mean by that. What I mean is sort of true to form, OSU did everything they could in that third quarter to give OU the game. They wanted them to have it. Maybe they caught wind of what was about to happen with Lincoln Riley, and they wanted to give the OU program and the fans something to feel good about before this happens with the coach, because they did everything that you could possibly do in order to lose a game, and OU did not properly take advantage of it. Because in that third quarter, what do you have? You have a safety. You have a punt return for a touchdown. OSU misses a field goal. OSU throws an interception. OSU ends their last two drives on downs. No, punting. They did everything they could to give this team the game, and they could not take it. So, yes, at the end of the game, OSU had 37 points. OU had 33. But they did everything they could to gift OU this victory. So, obviously, OSU fans, after all of these losses and all these losses just over the history of the matchup, will take this victory. But they did not win this. They did not win this convincingly.
Convincingly.
And it also makes me question just how they're going to perform in the rematch against Baylor and Dave Aranda, who are going to be out for blood, out for revenge. Because if they play like that in this particular game, then they don't have to worry about being in the CFP because they won't be anywhere near it.
So we talked about this on the preview last week about this one, and I told you I was going to throw myself ball deep into Oklahoma State. Unfortunately, I got Oklahoma State -4, so I just basically pushed and didn't really provide anything good for me.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, sure, there's that. Well, in watching the game, Oklahoma State kind of did some of the stuff that we expected. Their offense is pedestrian. It's not very good.
Gundy was conservative. Gundy
was extremely conservative second half. And they lucked out with Eric Gray being an extra in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, where he decided to get the punt return, and then it just off his chest. So if he wasn't an extra and just let that ball go, OU is headed to the Big 12 championship to play Oklahoma State again. Lincoln Riley's not going to leave until after that game, or at least after the college football playoffs. And we're not talking about a lot of this stuff right now.
True.
But no, that's not what happened. What happened was OU tried their hardest to do the same thing that Oklahoma State was doing. They tried to outduel each other. So you had the punt, then you had the safety, that fumble was crazy. That probably may have been offsides, but based on the angles, it wasn't. Then OU gets the touchdown after the muffed punt, makes it even better. Oklahoma State misses a field goal, and then what happens? OU decides to give it all back. They fumble, but then they get the interception. Then they punt. Oklahoma State scores their touchdown. OU punts. Oklahoma State fumbles, gets the ball from the Eric Gray play. Oklahoma State scores a touchdown, and then OU does nothing but what? Punt, down, downs. And it felt like the play calling was pretty bad, especially around Caleb Williams not running. Like, I don't understand. He ran for 50-something yards in one of those plays, and it was like, why aren't you doing this more often? Why are we here? This is something that you should do more of. So I'm asking the question, honestly, is that Lincoln Riley, or was that Caleb being a freshman? Was he out there holding himself back from – he ran for 56 yards, and he finished the game with 36 yards rushing.
I think it was probably coaching. It was probably Lincoln Riley, because he doesn't want his quarterback in the fourth quarter to be Lamar Jackson and win it with his legs, even though Caleb Williams has the ability to do that and almost did it in this particular game. It's something I think that they should do moving forward. But I think it was more so him, because if he had been given the green light, if he looked at him on the sidelines during the timeout or whatever it was, said, Caleb, go to work, use your legs, eat. If you see it, go for it. Green light. Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, green light no matter where you are on the court. Go for it. He would have done it more. So I think that was coaching.
Yeah, I can see that. And at the same time, Caleb also has a tendency to where he's not very good he's not reading his progressions. You can tell. You can tell that he's missing certain things. And it's not that he's incompetent. It's that he's young. He's getting used to seeing all these different defenses. The defenses are trying to mix as much up as possible at him to try to get him at happy feet. And it feels like he's trying not to run. It feels like a Cordell Stewart type situation where they're trying to make him a pocket passer when he really should be scrambling and running, especially when the openings hit. But I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see what it looks like in the future. Hopefully Caleb sticks around and continues to do this and become a Heisman favorite for next season, because he would be a Heisman favorite for next season.
Yeah.
As a true sophomore running this offense with Cale Gundy. So you think Oklahoma State's got a chance to win this?
To win what?
Against Baylor.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think they're most likely the favorites. I'm sure they're in a position to do this. They have every reason to be confident coming off, one of the biggest wins in school history, probably the biggest win in school history since either beating Stanford and finishing the season, I think, number 3 or number 2, or the last time that they won Bedlam, which was that exact same season.
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually ended number 3 that season.
They won in 2014, right?
Yeah.
Was that the Reek game? The Tyreek Hill punt return, 2014?
Yes, 14 was the Reek game. 2011 was when they ended up being 3rd, and Alabama was given the option to play LSU a second time for national championship, in which, honestly, it should have been Oklahoma State in there, and that would have been a lot more fun to watch Oklahoma State versus LSU or Oklahoma State versus Alabama.
But I think OSU, they should be confident because, you did put up 33 points on a pretty good, to at times good defense, and that's something that their offense, and we said this as we watched the game, that it looked like there were plays, at least in the first half, that Mike Gundy and OSU were using that they hadn't used all season long. But you do save some back for this game because of the magnitude of the game locally. Yeah. And OU probably did the exact same thing. So that first half, was just punch, counterpunch, back-to-back, 24 all headed into halftime.
I think about it, that makes sense, because if OU wins this game, they play each other again literally a week later. So in Dallas, neutral site. So it's kind of one of those, do you want to show all your cards? Just in case you have to see each other again or not. Yeah, gamesmanship. And you probably would hold back a little bit, but I think Oklahoma State has a good chance. They are my finest 5.5 point favorites in this game against Baylor. I like Dave Aranda, and I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think that Oklahoma State goes in there and defensively shuts them down to where, which is the thing I love the most about Oklahoma State, is defensively they are really good, and they will go out there and probably win it 28-20.
And you know what was funny? And I can agree with that. You know what was funny about this game is how in the first half, the OSU offense didn't look like themselves, and the OSU defense didn't look like themselves, giving up 24. And then in the second half, the OSU offense then started to look like themselves, and then the OSU defense then started to look like themselves and didn't allow an offensive touchdown for the rest of the game. So that just shows you how crazy, how up and down, how psychotic this game actually was.
Second half, they did not give up an offensive touchdown. That's just crazy to me. It tells you something. It tells you how good that Oklahoma State defense is, or limiting on Lincoln. I think it's more Oklahoma State than it is OU's play. I think it was their defense tightening up. Jim Knowles tightening them boys up. They went out there and they basically put the cuffs on them. That's what you do.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing too. The penalties in this game. You talked about the penalties earlier, but OU got 12 of those penalties for 74 yards. OSU had 6 for 60. So the penalty yards was about the same, just 14 yards separating them. But those 12 penalties on OU, 12 do-overs, 12, just 12. It can be somewhat demoralizing if you get a penalty or if you keep getting the same type of penalty. So I think that definitely played a factor in this game. And from what I've heard, penalties were somewhat of an issue throughout the season with OU as far as that lack of discipline, that lack of being buttoned up.
Yes.
And being really within control of yourself that this team really struggled with, which again might have had something to do with Lincoln Riley or whatever, but it's just one of the details that has a major impact on the game. But I think that's a big part of the reason too as to why OSU won, because they won the penalty battle. You could say.
I guess you could say. Yeah, you called the penalty battle.
Penalty battle.